Right. Welcome everyone to the Cluster Addons meeting. Today is July the 21st. Let me give everyone the link to the agenda. Do we have any agenda items from anyone? I see Justin is typing furiously. Yeah, just got back from holidays, but I saw like a lot of PRs and lots of discussion on GitHub. Maybe Justin, you could give us a quick summary of what's happening.
Absolutely, yes. So thank you. Santoshi may or may not join. I think her laptop battery was running really low, but she is our Google Summer of Code participant, and she is doing a wonderful job and just tearing through tasks faster than we can think up of them, even though she's thinking of some of her own. And so that's really good. So there's a ton of activity being generated by her and also by other participants on GitHub generally. The non-Google Summer of Code participation is also increasing. So like, thank you to Van too, who's sent a couple of PRs recently. I think that's how you pronounce his their GitHub. I don't even, honestly, I'm not sure. And so that's really good. Some of the highlights, I think, of Satoshi's recent work are, I think there's a PR for being able to sort of temporarily stop an operator from reconciling by with an annotation, being able to annotate target objects to say like just this one object, don't reconcile it. I think she's looking at update notifications. In other words, being able to post the status. Here's Samtoshi if she wants to. Samtoshi, I'm just talking through some of your wonderful recent contributions. I talked about the annotations that enable us to not reconcile either at the whole operator or a target, an individual target object. I was starting to talk about status update. I don't know if there are or version updates. I don't know if there are other things you want to mention as highlights of the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, so we've been good afternoon everybody, good evening, good morning. So we've been working on different things. So the annotations, yeah, so if there's a particular annotation on the custom resource of the add-on, we don't apply it to the cluster. And also we also check if someone has added the annotation to an object. Maybe the person wants to like stop reconciling for some time, probably to debug something, and doesn't need that the reconciliation running. We also check that, so it's like it's easier for people to use it. And yeah, we're also doing version checks with like, so the user can specify a particular version of the operator that he wants, and then we can check like, oh, is this the same version we are giving him? If not, we inform him and stop. Yeah, so it's been interesting. We're also working on other stuff like aggregating the status of different objects, the objects that were created by the manifest. Like and also we have like a small kubectl tool to like just view all the objects that the custom resource has like unrefs on, that it's created basically. So it's just a small tool that just looks at the cluster and like the unrefs on different resources and then pulls in the one that you want. Yeah, that's most of it.
Yeah, thank you, Santoshi. And yes, excellent work. As I was previously saying, you are tearing through tasks faster than we can even think up of them. So it is amazing to watch. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you very much.
I'll backfill some of the notes as well. Don't worry, Daniel. And yes, Vantu, I think, is working on metrics. And we also have some work going on in terms of the, I guess, end-to-end tests and getting those into better shape and having more realistic tests. And I think that is being driven primarily by Rajan Sandeep, along with some work on Core DNS, so which is sort of what he does a lot of the time. So it's great to see that activity as well.
Are there any questions for Suntochi or about the Summer of Code project in general? Is everyone aware of what's happening there? I'm just wondering if it would make sense to maybe write a blog post or something, or just announce in general like what's happening. I feel like we've been discussing for about a year and so much has been happening, but I think to a lot of people it's not quite clear what's been happening in this group.
We were discussing the idea of having Suntochi write up her Google Summer of Code experience and discussing the work on add-ons and seeing if we could get that on the Kubernetes blog. I don't know how other people feel about that, but that would be a good thing to pursue. I'm happy to try to pursue that. I don't know exactly how to do so, but I'm happy to try to pursue that. If that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help with that as well.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, maybe let's just take that offline. I'll find out how it's done and then set up a Google Doc, and then we can just chuck in ideas, a bit of a backstory. And I don't think it needs to be, a book. Yeah. Cool.
I think at the end of Google Summer Code, I think Suntochi is required to write up some sort of project report anyway. So it feels like might as well repurpose some of that work into a blog post that everyone can read.
I think the blog post idea is great. I would love to work on that.
Great, thank you.
Super. Do we have any more questions or things to talk about? Or Suntochi, do you have any general feedback? Or do you feel like things went up until now?
It's been going great so far. The only thing I wanted to say is we need to find like a way to centralize the docs, and Justin kind of talked about it. The docs are currently like in different readmes of different operators, so we need to like have maybe a docs folder, so it's clearer to people where they can go if they want to read up on something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair, particularly as the capabilities of the framework progress. We will need probably to revisit the getting started guide and generally the docs. I think that's a good point, Suntochi.
I wasn't here for the. I'm just checking through the agenda of last meeting, and I haven't watched the recording yet. I just came back yesterday. How's the COPS add-on PR going? Like, we seem to have discussed this the last time.
Yeah, we haven't made a ton of progress on that. That's mostly on me. I will try to make more progress on that. There is excellent feedback. I think it's the same as like 4 weeks ago. There was excellent feedback on some of the broader requirements around security and ownership and that sort of big picture feedback. And a lot of the work that Santoshi has been doing actually really can address the feedback. I think I need to refactor the PR to better reflect Santoshi's recent work. But yeah, I think we will get it in one form or another. It's just a matter of pushing it over the line, as it were.
Super. All right. Shall we close the meeting early? Any last words? All right. Have a good one, everyone. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.